Hello, pre-calc students doing quiz 3. All right. So choose a equation that can represent the hyperbola graphed below. And so looking at this hyperbola, we have a center at 0, 0, and all of these indicate our center at 0, 0. We also have a vertical hyperbola. Notice this is vertical, so this is a vertical hyperbola. I can see that a is equal to 1, which means a squared is going to equal to 1. So right now I know right away we're going to have y squared over 1 minus x squared over something is going to be equal to 1. So let's see if we can get that definite. All right, y squared over 1 minus x squared, I guess that term is over 9. So we didn't have to know that is equal to 1. So we know this is option B because we know it's vertical and that the distance from the center to the vertices of the hyperbola is 1. Clearing annotations. Write the equation of the hyperbola graphed below whose vertices and foci are marked. All right? So let's see. Our center hopefully we can see our center is 0, 0. And it is, we know because our vertices have to be equidistant from the center. And so that means this is 8. So remember, A is equal to 8. This length is 8. This length is 8. The middle is going to be at 0, 0 right here. The center is going to fall on the axis of symmetry and be in between the two vertices. So the center is 0, 0. A is equal to 8. We can see based on where the axis of symmetry is that this is a horizontal hyperbola. Not only is this a horizontal hyperbola, A is equal to 8, we see that C, the distance between the center and the focus, is 10. So C is equal to 10. And so now we know a couple of things. For center at 0, 0, we're going to have our equations and be x squared minus y squared is equal to 1. And for denominators, x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared. Now a is equal to 8, c is equal to 10, and we know that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So c squared is 10 squared is equal to a squared, 8 squared plus b squared. So 100 is equal to 64 plus b squared, and that makes b squared is equal to 36. So 36 plus 64 is equal to 100. So b squared is equal to 100. So writing our final equation, we will have x squared over a squared, which is 64, minus y squared over b squared, which is 36, and that's going to be equal to 1. So x squared over 64 minus y squared over 36. This is equal to 1. Great. What are the foci of the hyperbola represented by the equation x squared over 37 minus y squared over 63 is equal to 1? Okay? So, in this case, 37 is equal to a squared. 63 is equal to b squared. So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So c squared is equal to 37 plus 63. 37 plus 63, that's going to be 100. So c squared is equal to 100, which means take the square root of both sides. C is equal to 10. And looking right here, our center is 0, 0. And the foci of what we can tell is a horizontal hyperbola is going to be h plus or minus c. Okay, so that's going to be 0 plus or minus 10 comma 0. It's going to give us values of 10, 0 and negative 10, 0. That's going to give us answer choice D. And the reason why I know this is horizontal is because the positive term is the x term. That's what makes us know it's horizontal. The positive term is the x term. X term is positive. Positive. Great. Write the equation for a parabola with a focus at negative 4, 8 and a directrix at negative 6. So we have a directrix at x equals negative 6. So the xy axis, we have a value that is negative 6, and we have a directrix at x equals negative 6. So we have a directrix right here. X equals negative 6. We have a focus at negative 4, 8. So at negative 4, positive 8, so at negative 4, 8, we have a focus. That's our focus. This is our directrix. Our vertex must be in between these values. So I can already see this is from where the focus is. First of all, we have a vertical directrix and a focus to the right of the directrix. So I can tell this is a horizontal parabola. I can tell that right away from the directrix. That opens right. And with this horizontal parabola that opens right, we're going to have our focus in between on the axis of symmetry. Our focus is going to be in between the directrix and the focus. So our vertex is going to have a y value of 8 and an x value of negative 5. So that's going to be our vertex. All right, so that means our focal length, P, the distance between the vertex and the focus. So our focal length, P is going to be equal to 1. So now that we have P, we have a vertex HK, right? So we have P is equal to 1, H is equal to -5, K is equal to 8. We look at a form of the horizontal hyperbola, which is going to be x is equal to 1 over 4p times y minus k squared plus h. All right? So here p is 1. So x is equal to 1 over 4 times 1. Remember, p is equal to 1 times y minus k squared. So y minus k is 8. So y minus 8 squared plus h. Now, h is -5, so plus -5 is going to be the same thing as -5. So this is simplified to x is equal to 1/4 times y minus 8 squared minus 5. Let's see if we did the math correctly and we were able to visualize this correctly. 1/4, 1/4. Let me erase this. Yeah, load, like you like to load. 1/4 times y minus 8 squared minus 5. Great. Here, I'm going to do this as expediently as possible. All right? I have vertices at plus or minus 61, 0. Because the vertices are equidistant from 0, 0, I know the center, center of the origin, so HK is 0, 0. I also know that because this is the vertices are moving horizontally, that is a horizontal hyperbola. So we're going to have x squared minus y squared or a squared or b squared is equal to 1. So just need to find a squared and b squared. All right? Now I know the vertices do up plus minus root 61. I know that a is equal to root 61, which means a squared is equal to 61, which means a squared is going to be equal to 61. So now I need to find b squared. C square root of 98. So c is equal to the square root of 98. C squared is equal to 98. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. 98 is equal to 61 plus b squared. 61 plus 98 minus 61. B squared equals 37. So b squared is equal to 37. So this is x squared over 61 minus y squared over 37 is equal to 1. So let's write this equation. X squared over 61 minus y squared over 37 is going to equal 1. Great. Clear annotations. There we go. So that is quiz 3. loading things up, and let's stop recording.